Hello, everybody. Welcome to the CoLab. This is SpacetoCo's free monthly online sessions designed to assist those working in community venues to learn, upskill, and be inspired to do their work more effectively and efficiently. We hope you find these sessions useful for the important work you do in our local communities. For those of you who are watching this recording after this live event, hello, and we hope that you get valuable knowledge from this session. My name is Carmela, and I organize these monthly learning series. Just a little bit about SpacetoCo before we move on. So SpacetoCo is a two-sided, our mission in SpacetoCo is to help community venues be a thriving hub in their communities. We do so by providing opportunities to be able to grow bookings, increase community engagement, as well as support. We also create and provide free resources for those working in community venues. SpacetoCo is a two-sided marketplace where you can list your spaces where guests can find and book them online. It is also an efficient booking system tool where you can reduce your admin by 80%. We work with a number of local governments as well as community centers across Australia and New Zealand. So today's session is all about creating inclusive and welcoming community venues, the role of diversity, culture, and equity. Our speaker will share the power of cultural ambassadors in strengthening community connections, the impact of dedicated spaces that bring people together across cultures, and real-life success stories demonstrating lasting change. We will also highlight the leadership and ongoing commitment required to sustain these initiatives, ensuring that inclusivity remains at the heart of community development. We will also be discussing practical steps towards equity. So today, it is my pleasure to introduce to you our speaker, Fatima Faqiri. She is a dedicated community leader and advocate for diversity, inclusion, and equity. With over 16 years of experience in community development and volunteer leadership, she works to create meaningful opportunities for underrepresented groups. She is the Community Development Officer, Welcoming City at the City of Canning, and the founder of the Hazara Women's Support Network, where she champions initiatives that empower marginalized communities and foster inclusive spaces. Fatima has served in various multicultural advisory committees, contributing her expertise to policy and grassroots initiatives. Passionate about equitable access and representation, she is committed to helping organizations cultivate truly diverse and welcoming environments. So we welcome to the CoLab, Fatima.
Hi everyone. So Kaya, Kia ora, hello and salam alaikum. It's good to be amongst you all today. I'm really excited to be here joining you from audience from across Australia and New Zealand. Really excited, really excited to share what we have achieved through Hillview and the cultural community, cultural Canning Culture Ambassadors program that we've been running for the past 4 rounds, past 3.5 or 4 years. And throughout this webinar, if you had any questions, please pop that in the questions or the chat section, whichever you're comfortable with, and I can address them at the end of it as well. So today I'll be talking about creating inclusive and welcoming community venues, the role of diversity, culture, and equity through the Canning Culture Ambassadors and the Hillview Hub, which has been using a SpacetoCo as well. I'd like to start by acknowledging the traditional owners of the country throughout Australia and the Wajak Noongar people as the traditional owners of the land in which we meet today. So I'm here reaching out from Perth, Bulu. We recognize their continued connections to land, waters, and culture, and pay our respect to their elders past, present, and emerging. And the picture you see at the background at the top bit, it's the drawings of Debrul Yarragan Swan River, basically, and the wider Swan Pairs now, back then and now at the bottom. You can see the developments there, which is amazing. So I'd like to start by introducing a bit of a personal connection from where what I do in the community and how I came about with this role and the culture ambassadors as well. I have a personal connection to the work I do. I run as a community leader, community grassroots initiative organizer and founder of the Hazara Women Support Network, as Kamala explained. So having that background gives me first-hand account and experience in the area, like a lived experience in the area of how communities deal with complexities of the system and the barriers they face in accessing whether it is the government resources or government buildings, such as the Hillview Hub in Bentley. And coming from that background gives me a lot of perspective of, how I can address the barriers working from within the local government. So it's a privilege for me to be working for the local government, where I can use that sense of lack of barriers, the barriers, and try and help the community from that end as well. And that gives me a lot of energy and drive to do what I do basically on a day-to-day basis. If we talk about why community connection matters, we can say in diverse society, fostering inclusion and belonging is key to thriving neighborhoods. Once neighborhoods thrive, we can all be thriving in councils, we can be thriving in a state government level, and then go federal. As we all know, everything starts from grassroots. So places such as spaces such as SpacetoCo, enabling that access to those spaces in a creative way, in a user-friendly way, it really empowers the communities. Although I acknowledge there is a lack of, if you lack computer literacy, if some community leaders do, and they will need assistance to navigate through that, there are ways we can address that, which I'll go through later on, or you can pop that in the question, we can discuss that later. But putting that aside, most of us do have some project managers on different community organizations who deal with that, which makes it really easy to use platform for them as well. So it's really the city of Canning is really harnessing the power of SpacetoCo at the moment, where all of our spaces are now on the SpacetoCo with their booking requirements and the pictures, videos, etc., for the spaces to be accessible to community to use. And I'll run through how what was the need for the space to come live in such a way. There is the power in cultural exchanges, so how the richness of different cultures strengthens social cohesion, economic growth, and a shared sense of identity. So that's where communities will be exchanging their culture, and there will be intersection in the cultural groups, and there will be social cohesion built through the activation of the spaces. And I will be covering a bit of that as well today. I will cover real life success stories demonstrating lasting change, whether it's for the local government level, whether it's been for the community and the advocates in that space. I will go through that. I will also cover recognizing the leadership and ongoing efforts required to sustain these kind of initiatives. So sometimes an idea could be really a fairy tale for us when you begin with really a great idea, but there are hurdles. So I will discuss some challenges that we've come across as well, and just to give you a bit of perspective of what to look out for, hopefully, as much as I've got knowledge in that area. So yeah, I'll be definitely discussing that. What Canning Cultural Ambassadors have been, it's been more than a program. It's been a movement towards a future where every individual has the opportunity to contribute, be seen, and thrive. So I'll be discussing that, and you would see how, although we know there are challenges, once we do the seeding efforts, and we do tap into a good cause, although there are challenges, but things take time to come to fruition. So if you are patient throughout the process, you will definitely see the benefits of it reaching out to communities. And I will be elaborating throughout the webinar of how demonstrating how that worked out for us for the past 4 years. So the need for community connections. City of Canning is one of the WA's most culturally diverse local authority. 51% of its residents are born overseas, where 43% speak a language other than English. The strength of diversity is the economic benefits, the social cohesion, and cultural vibrancy. The challenges we had was limited cultural spaces, fragmented settlement groups, support groups, and the need for visibility. So, if a local government is that diverse, you can definitely see there is a need for better services and access through to the resources available through local government, and that's what Canning realized once they looked through their community development plans, strategic community development plans, and they come up with this amazing program, which is Hillview Hub, and the space that it was offering for the community and how to make it activated and usable for the community. And through that, there were so many great leaders that became visible. And how they did that was through some stakeholder reference groups. They called up some passionate community leaders. You can see them pictured in this photo, and some local government heroes who sat together and they went through some discussions of how to create a space, and the consultation went through until they found they really vetted that process of how we can definitely benefit from the space, and would you be using them, and are you interested? So it was really grassroots initiated program, which was also delivered, which was delivered through a couple of months until they agreed to and advocated on behalf of the council through the state government, and they got some funding through the state government in conjunction with multicultural features to make Hillview a space for all to use. So this is a picture of our Hillview Hub, which a bit of a background about it. Used to be an old church before, which was donated, I think donated or bought over by the state government, part of it donated as well, and it's been renovated, made addition to it, and to become usable as a hub for the community the way it is now. So it's very brand new in terms of its renovation efforts, and you can see it's a home for dreams, connection, and shared cultures. There are programs that bring communities together, one event at a time. We've got every term, a school term, community program booklet of all the groups that run sessions in the center. Part of some of those events are the city is offered free of charge to the organizers if their event is also run free of charge, and that way it enables them to run through their training programs and the groups that they want to gather. It doesn't pressure them, so it's really enabling those grassroots community leaders to be able to use the space to advance or enrich the communities they represent, or wider multicultural community, or any other groups as well. We've got also government agencies, other local government who hire this space. It's not just the community itself, it's a wide variety of users that use the space. There are so many cultural events that are hosted in that, such as Nowruz, the Changwa, which is the Chinese Western Australian Chinese Association, who also run programs through the center for the different events. There are language programs and economic development initiatives. We've got some sewing classes. We've got some cooking and fermentation classes. There's a wide variety of programs that run through. I actually have this is not this month's, the last month's program booklet, which runs through the term for 2024, which I'll be able to share through Carmela if you're interested. A PDF version of this, or the section on the website where this is downloadable for you to all view and see how we put through the programs through the booklet, which is printed as well as made available online on our calendars, on our various centers, whether it's Hillview, whether it's our library, Riverton Library, Cannington Library, City of Canning Council, Youth Hub that we have, any other venue that we have, there will be a copy of this available for the community to access and find out those programs that are running and support those local initiatives. So next topic is our Canning Culture Ambassadors that I'm going to talk to you about. It was Canning Culture Ambassadors was a program initiated, as I said, by Multicultural Futures. Then City of Canning took over the program, and they've made it more. They designed it in a way for it to be delivering. So the Canning Culture Ambassadors to be the bridge between the community they represent, the cultural community they represent, and City of Canning Council itself. It was a movement, not just a program. It was to inspire leadership and amplify the voices of those community leaders who are working really hard and see lack and see barriers in the community. So for them to be able to voice it out and have access to the council was really great. If you are a if you're a person from CALD community, you would know that the barriers that the community have is the first and only barrier. I would say in our countries, some of the countries that we come from, local government or any levels of government that the community that you come from, it's the way community views it is if government comes to you, you're in problem, you're in trouble basically. So what happens is that they never see the government to be assisting them or trying to help their problems. It's been the level of frauds and the programs that's running through those communities. It really helps them to achieve the outcomes that they want for the communities through these cultural ambassadors. One of them actually provided a testimonial for us, saying that the CCAs are the heartbeat of our community, which is the Canning Culture Ambassadors, demonstrating passion, resilience, and the drive to make real changes. Throughout the years, for the past 4 rounds of this year, we are in the 4th round of Canning Culture Ambassadors that we are running. It's like a yearly different intervals that we run the program. We have had 47 cultural ambassadors from over 35 different cultural groups, reaching 1,200 plus underrepresented community members. And the numbers keeps growing as we talk. And the CCA have been empowering ambassadors through mentoring, training, and visibility. So it's been really helpful, and I will go through some of those examples as we keep talking here. So these are some of the through 11 monthly catch-ups that we had with the city and training programs on the weekends. The ambassadors have been able to find out actually what the city is about, what are the services there are, and they would have access directly to the city staffs and admin and the staff who are working in, say, events coordination, grants officer, if they've been working through with different areas like the waste services that they were working, trying to reach out the communities to really bridge that gap and be the voice to the community and take those information back to their communities. You can see it's a very friendly sort of a setting that we go through those programs. One of these events, which was run through the culture ambassadors, you can see the lady in green. Basically, she's wearing green all over. She's our Councillor Shen Sekon. She's our previously, when she started with the Canning Culture Ambassadors, she was just the culture ambassadors. And throughout the program, because she was made visible and she was empowered through understanding what the council is all about, the next round, the year after the program, she ran as a candidate for council, and she is now our current City of Canning councillor. And you can see it's the power of the Canning Culture Ambassadors which made her visible and empowered her to understand and navigate these intricacies of the systems. and become the voice to the cultural community, to the Cold community that she represents. And she's doing a fantastic work within the city of Canning. And this wouldn't have been possible if it wasn't for this for the CCA program. One of the events she hosted was Malaysian Economic Development Delegation. So she brought them to the city of Canning on 30th of August 2022. She gave them a warm welcome and a tour of the city and introduced all the programs that is run through the city. We had throughout the Canning Culture Ambassadors various program, Men and Their Mental Health by Dr. Jay Salim. So this was a project that concerned men's mental health. The objective of the project was to assist men combat mental health issues and works towards a positive lifestyle using various tools that are easy to implement into their daily lives. So where else would you be able to find such programs run free of charge by the people who are so passionate about? They just needed that extra bit of assistance, which was a free venue, and some of them were given a $500 in-kind donations as well to help them with their catering or marketing or anything they want without any need for any receipts or anything. So that really helped them to run through these really much needed programs, which I wish there's more and more and more of these. And once they're recognized and they're pictured the way, it definitely amplifies their efforts. It inspires other leaders to do the same, and also that creates a really good will in the community, basically. And it's thanks to the Canning Hillview and thanks to City of Canning for providing all these opportunities for the cultural communities. One of the other programs, which one of our other ambassadors, Salam Tigeng, she hosted a Movers and Shakers event at Hillview Intercultural Community Center. You can see at this event, many cultural leaders from various different backgrounds gathered, and they were discussing through how we can activate the space and how we can use the space for a better use. And that was a very well received program, and really community enjoyed in creating social cohesion and connections throughout the communities. No other local government have, by me being an active part in the local communities in WA, I've seen no other programs in any other local governments to be this powerful, basically. And you can see me pictured in that as well. I attended that as well myself. Back then I wasn't working for City of Canning, and really saw the power of social cohesion in that group, and the shared connection and the shared I would say pains that we all had really made it visible for us, and to be able to discuss it with the council and come together and collaborate. And many years now, we have into the future, we are still connected and work through different challenges for each other and assist each other to become better community leaders. One of the sessions for the Canning Culture Ambassadors is welcoming to Canning bus tour. So the bus tour that we run was for the ambassadors of the past 3 cohorts, which runs through the bus, and it introduces the culture ambassadors to the various departments, various venues, various places, and historical, whether it's a library, whether it's the waste services that we have. The bus tour really gives those places visibility to the culture ambassadors, so they can easily address that with their community. So you can see I got only a few of those pictures of what happened on the bus tour on those rounds. So they visited the library, they were introduced to the library services, and they were blown away of how many venues and spaces they could hire through the library, some of them free of charge anyway to the community. And they were run through the things that they couldn't cover through the bus tour was given to them as part of a presentation as well. They went through the council. They saw the chambers of the council for where the ordinary council meetings happen. They went through different venues that was possible to be booked. They went through the leisure plexus, so on and so forth. The waste spots as well, and yeah, so many other places that they were able to meet, and it really made an effort, help them to be understanding what those spaces are and give them a bit of an idea. And right now, as I said, this year, City of Canning is embracing a space to go even further of putting all of our venues on a space to go for hire, so that you don't have to go through Hillview. All of the venues is hireable through to space to go up until December 2024. But now with the addition of the rest of the venues being on the space to go as well, it helps us now with those communities not to have to deal with two different booking systems, basically, and that reduces the barriers in addressing those needs for the community and the red tapes and the people that they have to deal with. It's really a streamlining, and we are even working towards more having a more welcoming and more easily accessible venue by introducing a tagging system when they want to use the venue and enter the venue, and that's in the process as well. This is another program that one of the other culture ambassadors was running through the waste team. They had booths in the Indian Council of Western Australia's Diwali event in Cannington Showground, and they engaged with over 2,500 people. And I'll go through for this program and the rest of the program they did through the waste, which was really creative, led by the Canning Culture Ambassador Sadna Bose. The council got highlighted for that effort, and they received, I think, 2 awards, which I'll go through for that initiative. So it works both ways. It really helped the community to understand about that in different culture. Other than that, we can see in other cultural groups when things happen and the community is not engaged, or they're not even willing to, because they don't know, they're not willing to, get the council's initiatives visible to the community. But having ISWA, Indian Association of Western Australia, or Indian Council of Western Australia, to take that initiative and bring the council and their efforts to the community, really raised a lot of awareness and help the council, help the community further. And some more of those programs, so Korean sushi and K-pop dance competition by Hye Young, which her name is Grace. So you can see there's a community come together in a really inclusive and harmonious way. So that was thanks to the culture ambassadors and the Hillview programs. Sorry, Hillview Hub itself. And yep. And some more examples of the success stories and the impact that it was created. So when we empower one, we empower many. Visibility creates possibility. So that's I'd like to say of this what you saw so far. Our alumni cohorts, you can see the top picture is the alumni for the last year, and the bottom picture is the alumni from the year previous, and the two round cohort were combined in one, and that's their photo on the graduation day. You can see various diverse groups and diverse cultures with the traditional clothing represented in there, which is beautiful. This is the 2025 Culture Ambassadors. This is the current cohorts of this year. And you can see how they were, again, from different cultural groups. They, each and every one of these culture ambassadors, when I was doing the reference check for them throughout the recruitment process, I was blown away by how humble they are and how giving they are to their communities and how much efforts they put into everyday life to create better opportunities for their communities, address barriers, break down barriers. One of them is a woman advocate. It just really humbled me when I did the reference check, being part of the cultural community, of how much they do for the communities and how much is gone unnoticed. So to have them made visible, it's for me as an employee of a local government, it's an honor, and it is a privilege to be even in contact with them, basically, to bring them up to highlight their initiatives and works and empower them even further through the council. and give access from the council admin staff level to them so they can even do more great stuff. So I just really empowered by seeing them every day and addressing their issues and helping them basically. Just wanted to talk about some long-term impact and multiplier effects that this had as well. I did mention a couple of our alumni ambassadors are now counselors. They're shaping policies for broader inclusion, basically. So we have about three of the alumni cultural ambassadors who are now on either City of Canning Council or different councils, and that really goes to tell you how amazing this program has been. And the leadership support transforms short-term wins into lifelong process. So the support that we give to these leaders in the short term, that wins them the opportunities that they would like to foster within the communities. But it's a lifelong process, and then it creates more leaders in the community as well. Once they're made visible, it really we invest in people and we build the legacies basically. This is the welcoming team back in 2022, the team at the Hillview. So there is a full-time team based at Hillview back in the day, and the team won the National Local Government Award for a Cohesive Communities Award through the Western Australia Multicultural Award, and this was the team behind it, and the passionate advocates as well. We have Sarah Janali, our Welcoming Australia coordinator for WA on the left, and we've got Megan, Rosamane, Gowrie, and Gassian, yes. This was the original team who made hours of effort for this to come alive. In multicultural Office of Multicultural Interest every year, which is a state government in Western Australia, hosts awards. And in 2022, City of Canning won the Multicultural Awards in that category for creating a welcoming and inclusive space. And you can see the benefits of that program that now we are being recognized. And in that round, we were awarded that. So that's just wanted to mention that how amazing this benefited the council as well to make the council more visible in its initiatives. So now, after speaking about the goods of the program, just wanted to highlight some challenges and the lessons that we learned as well. As we all know, building trust takes time, but it's the foundation of transformation. So when you try to build trust with the local multicultural communities, you have to be patient with it. Some may not come, as I said, because of the background some communities come from. They don't trust the local government at all. We just have to be patient through that process, and just sometimes you have to go 2 steps forward for them to come half a step forward because of the lack of trust, basically. The empowerment is a journey, not a destination. So don't think that why we did it and we started this and nothing, we empowered no one. It's a journey. It's a continuous journey. You have to be patient through that process as well. There is the importance of unwavering support from leadership and communities. So throughout this program, you definitely will empower through communities, and the ambassadors that they come through, they will definitely bear fruits for the future programs as well. We now have to expand on the CCA legacies, reaching new heights. So now we've got 47 alumni, including this year, which is the current cohorts. We just have to keep on working on that space and just see how else we can contribute to them. A call to action from me will be: we all have a role in building an inclusive future. Together, we don't just connect communities; we uplift them one story at a time. And finally, I wanted to thank you everyone for having me today. Every voice matters, every action that we do counts. Thanks to the visionaries and change makers and believers who make this program possible, and the power to create change is in our hands. Thank you so much, and I will take questions now if anyone has any questions.
I'm not muted anymore. But awesome. Thank you so much, Fatima. That was hello. Can everybody hear me? Lucia is telling me that I can. Okay. Thank you so much, Fatima, for that awesome presentation. There were so many examples of the success stories of the city of Canning. Personally, for me, like I think it was awesome. I didn't know Hillview used to be a church, and even that simple fact I think was really cool. I really loved some of the points that I really loved from your session, where you said that when we empower one, we empower many. Invisibility creates possibility, and the fact that building trust takes time. It's the foundation of transformation. Because at the end of the day, the work that everybody does in community venues isn't just for the venue itself, but for the community. And so that was so awesome to hear. Um, just a reminder for people that if you do have questions for Fatima, feel free to pop it into either the Q&A chat box or our audience chat. We do have a few questions in and out of this chat. One of which is from Shauna. She says, have they found that the city to be way more inclusive because of these initiatives that they've started? And are there any examples of people joining things from a different culture?
Yes, absolutely. So the city has been, because of the awards we won as well. And it's really, I think, for it to be its in fourth round and finally different groups are seeing benefits, I can see there is a rise in different local governments of wanting cultural ambassadors in the different ways and formats. As you know, WA is a bit of a, I would say, market that it's the cultural. The cult community is not well taken care of, like in Dandenong, I would say Melbourne and Victoria, where a larger multicultural community exists. There's obviously different advocates and a long time effort in that. There's a bigger population of a cultural community in there as well, so that hence why you see different initiatives. But in WA, it's really difficult to have that. But the Canning Culture Ambassadors have given a lot of praises and respect through different local governments and agencies for it to become a beacon of hope, basically, for different groups to either copy that or come with similar programs which matches their councils, whether it's multicultural advisory group or youth ambassadors. We've got youth culture ambassadors as well, which I forgot to mention in the slides. So they do different programs for the council. They connect youth to the council, and they're the voice of the youth for the council. And that's another amazing program. I'm not sure if I answered the second part of that question. What was it?
It was after that. Are you fine? Do you have examples of other people, of examples of people joining things of a different culture?
Yes, definitely. Because it's an activated place, not only culture ambassadors are able to book it, it's available to all community members. As I said, like breast cancer, WA, they use the space. The Red Cross uses the space. So this is the government level, and different community cultural groups feel, and when they see other community groups use it, they also find out, they inquire, find out, and they book the venue as well. Some of them do get the in-kind venue support as well, depend on the program. And yeah, definitely, it's enabled other cultural groups as well who are not residing within Canning to use it as well. It's a, as you know, with local government, there's no LGA boundaries, and that's one of the good things for the Hillview to be able to offering not just for its local community, for a wider WA community as well. I wish there was more of it in every council.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. We have a question from Stephen who asked, what came first, your reference groups or the venue? And did the group show the need for the venue?
Through the stakeholder reference group, the advice that was received, and the multicultural futures program of the project that they had for the cultural ambassadors, it intertwined with the Hillview to get the funding through the state government to become a welcoming hub. It's a fairly, I would say, an upmarket. It's not a your semi-standard, just a local government space, which some of them are really old facilities with old resources such as chairs and tables. Is fairly brand new. So all of that funding and advocacy came through that stakeholder reference group and the multicultural features effort in try and appealing to the government for the funding in that space, and that's how it came into fruition. And then after the space was made open, then the culture ambassadors started being formed and used, using the space and going through the program. So that's definitely Hillview was it was intertwined for the need of the community, basically.
Yeah, awesome. We have another question from Pippa. She said that she loved the idea of the reference groups. She asked if there was any payment to the individuals or was it a voluntary role for them?
It was way before me. I can take that on notice and get back to you. I wouldn't know, but I'm definitely with you with the payment. There are with the cunning culture ambassadors. Also, there is no direct payment to the culture ambassadors because if you do, then it cross borders. There's different rules with that, which I'm not privy to, and I won't be able to discuss. But what I am able to discuss is the benefit they get. They get 1 year free membership. They get access to free venues. They get $900 for their project. They get the support of the staff, the grant writing skills they go through for them to navigate through those grant writing applications through the council. And all of that, I would say, if you put value on them, is very valuable in terms of them being able to access the venue. And once they become officially crowned as culture ambassadors, so many government agencies would like to reach out to them. And what we do is there's a basically a safety wall for us not giving access to all of them. To the agencies that try to reach them, we encourage and promote that those opportunities that's given to the culture ambassadors should be either stipend or paid in different format. And that's how we advocate on their behalf when any agency would like to reach out to them for furthering their efforts into local communities or cultural groups, basically.
Yeah. That's a good question, Pippa. I don't know if you could see on the chat, but Lisa actually also answered your question. She said in New Zealand, they ask the community orgs to engage with diverse and indigenous groups. Often groups can be under-resourced though, so she thinks that payment or other mechanisms needs to be considered to reduce barriers to participate, which is an awesome thing to point out. There was brought up in the intro, what in practical sense, like what have you noticed an increase or more cultural groups in your bookings since you guys started the cultural ambassadors? And if so, what other kind of ideas can smaller community venues consider to increase, culturally diverse bookings for their community venues?
Absolutely, we've seen that. And as I said, because we have the expression of interest for venue support, which is free of charge, the application is put out to the community itself and the cultural ambassadors, because often they're linked with other leaders through the various program I explained, movers and shakers, or outside they see each other. They share it widely with the other community leaders, and they reach out and they explain this is the program they run, and if the city is able to assist them with the venue, so they definitely increase that. So sometimes, as I said, because they need the venues, we have to give them for free for a fair few times until the capacity is built within them to be able to fund through them, and just have programs. And we've got an activation officer in our in Hillview based, who takes care of all that booking requirements and the booklets and the booking that goes through. So definitely we will have to enable them to be able to activate the place, so for future for them to be able to pay for the venue as well.
Mm. That's a great idea. And like your point, you said you have to enable them to activate the space, which is awesome.
Yes.
Um, Another question, how can you make sure that you are properly looking out for diversity without greenwashing or just virtue signaling?
It's a very grassroots. We're not enforcing any policies or any initiatives of them of the council onto the community. If I understand that question correctly, it's very grassroots. So they have an ability. They're enabled and they're entrusting the council to approach them to go through their problems that they have, and in that way they kind of co-design a program or an activity or an event that is suitable for their either ethnic group or the wider multicultural group or the wider Australian community.
Mm,
uh, and that's definitely takes that brainwashing sentimentism or the view of that city is enforcing. As you can see, sometimes it's really top-down approach from whether local government, state, or federal government. But definitely, that's not the case with the city of Canning and the cultural investors. They're enabled to have their voices and reach out to the local council to address
mm,
those concerns, and that way they bridge the gaps and makes us understand the I would say the intricacies of those cultural group. And then if you put them in the same group, in one group as a whole, as you can see, they're representing different cultural group. They either all amplify the same voice, or some of them say, "Oh no, my community is different," and then we
mm,
can work through that. So it's different. There really definitely is a space for them to come in a socially cohesive manner, which my focus for this cohort of this year is that, and it's one of its own first kind program that I'm trying to run for a collaboration piece to enable to have a workshop run. It's a 1 day workshop with City of Canning generously paid for the current round of cohorts to run through some benefits of collaboration and social cohesion that they're going to have, and the unity the community will come together when they're trying to address uh, issues for the communities throughout any levels of government. So that's I'm really looking forward to that myself as well. So this is how when you put them together, city understands, the community understand, then we come up with these different sort of training style workshops and opportunities where we can have those voices heard.
yeah, no, awesome. I think we only have room for one more question, but awesome questions, guys. After this presentation, I'm sure with Fatima's permission, I'm sure we can find a way for you guys to connect with her if any of you guys have further questions specifically for her. But one question that we found from the intro was from Sana, who asked, she's keen to find out more about signage options for diversity, but I guess to expand on that, like what are other practical ways you can promote, I guess, being able to share your space for other diverse cultural groups? Because some of our community venues are on a budget, obviously, or sometimes they don't have a budget for it. So, what other ideas might you have to just, I guess, market it or show it to the community?
So we've got like a full rate venue. If you're a government agency or a proprietary limited kind of a setting that you would like to book the venue, obviously that will be charged at the full rate. But however, if you're a non-for-profit organization and you prove that through the ABN and a public liability insurance, that will be half a rate for the venue. So that's another layer of support for the local communities if they want to book the venue for say 100 people or numbers above for the Hillview itself. And yeah, that applies through different venues across the city as well. So that's another way. And we've got a dedicated Facebook group, which is a private group for Hillview Hub Intercultural Community Center and the programs that run through that. So what if anyone has a program, for example, they're running a iftar, for example, they want to run an iftar and they want to invite the community, they have the ability to post their flyers in that private group, which will be approved by the admin from the Hillview, and that's another exposure for them. They can send us their flyer and it will be displayed across our we've got a TV screen in Hillview, which all the venues go through, and it can be viewed for them. And we've got monthly newsletter. Some of them have the option of, if they meet the deadline, to promote their events through them. However, with multicultural communities, everything is on WhatsApp groups. So if you know the right person in the WhatsApp groups, who's the I would say, who's the big person out there, who knows a lot of network, who has a lot of networks, if you reach your flyers through that person, it can be reached through many WhatsApp groups. So that's another exposure for you as well, to get those communities coming through. So it's really knowing the right people, the actual hard community leaders, which we look at, which we go through the recruitment process. This year we had 28 applicants. Out of 28, we came down to 8 applicants. So it goes through a process of selection of who's the actual community grassroots initiative worker. Is not just everyone who's there for the business, who just wants to get visibility. Is for the actual people who are working actually for the community.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Always remaining at the heart of things, which is about community. Thank you so much, Fatima. We cannot thank you enough for the knowledge and the experience that you've just shared with us. I'm sure that many of our audience have found value in everything that you've shared and the awesome work that the City of Canning has been doing. So thank you once again. Just to
Thank
wrap up, and to let everybody know that SpacetoCo does have even more free resources. Again, free. There is no agenda behind it. Our job is to help you in the work that you do in community venues. So we will send you a link with the recording of this webinar, as well as the PDF and Fatima's presentation to you all after in an email. You can just click the link and you'll have easy access to many, many, many resources and guides that we've created over the few years with working with different community venues. Other than that, thank you again, Fatima. Thank you again, everybody, for taking the time out to join us today. And we hope that you have a great day and a great week ahead of you. Thank you.